all lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
I need to have another one of these.
Amen, amen.
Gee.
This is way over the edge. Like we it's not even over the edge. We died already.
This is beyond the event horizon. Like we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, we about to hit the vortex.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, negotiations, right? Politics.
And we're out of time. So you
Hey, y'all, Gravity, any day above ground living. I hope you're having a fantastic start to your Thursday. And the Knicks better win tonight. But that ain't what we here to talk about. What we here to talk about is something that I said during the election cycle when old Byron Donalds, Mr. I don't believe in reparations, when he announced he was going to run for governor of Florida. Well, this is predates before he made it official, but I told people that there were inklings that he was going to run. I said it was going to come out that all this bad stuff that MAGA knew about and Florida knew about, but bypassed it because they thought he was doing something good for the state of Florida. They're going to bring that back up in a negative light. And I said, y'all watch, Byron finna get his wake-up call. He want to be a national star so bad. All of a sudden, Florida going to turn on him. And it looked like I was right. Because I'm seeing a lot of posts and a lot of articles, they trashing this man. And we're legitimately a year away from that primary. Put a phone. Byron. Put a phone. How does it feel, sir? How does it feel? Florida is turning on MAGA, and it's beautiful. And we like it. They don't listen. Byron, they are calling you the equivalent of this.
Honest question. Is he a brother or is he a cornball brother?
I'll let y'all figure that out. But we all know what the answer is. So we're going to get into some articles and possibly some videos, especially one that you guys will be very, very intrigued to hear. But before we do that, let's see who's in the building. Jerry Bedford, hello. SD Johnson, hello. Anthony Ruger Phillips, hello. Wallow J, hello. Thank you for being a member for 14 months. That's a blessing. And you get this here. All right. Miss Nisi, good morning. Nightfall Drop, good morning. Lehman Lucas, good morning. Lehman Lucas, thank you for the $1. That's a blessing. And you get this here. You don't get that because we're not ending the show yet. But you're going to get this here. Let's see, who else? DSB, hello. And whoever hasn't said anything in live chat or comments, hello. I have not heard about Old Winsome, but I'm sure I'll look that up while you guys are watching videos. But you know what we have to do? We have to do the customary house cleaning. So here it is.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose, such as criticism, commenting, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, education, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
KSU's online
okay,
masters in
we're not going to
cybersecurity
start
will equip you
exactly
with the tools
with
needed
Byron and Trump and MAGA. Not the way you think. This is just going to be a precursor to what I was talking about, where Florida was going to turn on MAGA. Something happened in that state last week. Last Friday, to be exact, when the story came out. Would y'all like to know what it is? Tabernacle. Florida woman charged after allegedly attacking 72-year-old Trump supporter wearing MAGA hat. Laura Garrett allegedly approached a man wearing the MAGA hat to ask why he supports President Donald Trump. Let's see. A Florida woman is facing multiple charges stemming from her alleged attack on a 72-year-old man who was wearing a Make America Great Again hat earlier this week. Laura Garrett, 33, was arrested by the Largo Police Department on Tuesday for battery on a person older than 65, battery on a police officer, and obstructing or resisting an officer without violence, according to Pinellas County Jail records. Garrett admitted she approached a man who has not been publicly identified at Northeast Park and Paul Place to ask him about President Donald Trump and why he supports him, according to an arrest affidavit obtained by Fox 13 Tampa Bay. And that is her. That be her. The drugs must be good in Florida. What's that? She's down 14 points? Well, nobody likes her in Virginia. She's not going to get the nomination, and she's going to be out of politics. So it is what it is. She's leaving anyway. The two got into an argument at some point during the confrontation before Garrett poured a can she was holding on the victim's head and hit him on the back of his head and shoulder area with it, the arrest report said. Though Garrett denies she hit him with the can. Police say she jumped the fence and walked away after the attack on the man. She jumped the fence. She was later located by police officers whom she allegedly fought with while they were attempting to arrest her, and she didn't get shot. Isn't that beautiful? The arrest report states that Garrett intentionally dropped to the ground. The officers put her in handcuffs. That when an officer tried to escort her to the front of the park, she wrapped both her legs around him and caused him to fall. Ooh. She hit him with a double leg takedown. I like that. The officer's knee was bruised down during the incident, which is what prompted the second battery charge. Police say she continued to kick and pull away from arresting officers. Garrett was booked into the Pinellas County Jail Tuesday evening, but was released Wednesday night, jail records show. It'd be funny if she was fucking with DeSantis. It'd be kind of funny. So MAGA's being attacked in Florida. Well, there's that. But let's get to the show. We're going to have fun. So old Byron, he running around. He's still trying to be a celebrity. He hasn't been on TV in a little while from what I've seen, but, you know. I'm sure he's going to ramp that up. I'm probably going to get in trouble for this one, but we shall start here. I don't mean to make y'all mad this early in the morning. This is why I say go get your coffee, because your coffee will calm you down after you see this. But we might as well just start here.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Now, I ain't sure if this is real. I saw this on Brendan Dilley's page, and he's a scumbag, but I saw this on his page, and I thought it'd be quite informative for us. And yes, that is the late, great Marvin Gaye. So this might have been done with AI, I'm sure. And I can already tell some of the comments, because I feel them. You're pissed. So let's see. Either Brandon created this or Byron created this. Somebody created this and figured that Florida would go for this. I don't know why.
Get to work! Just like music.
I'm definitely going to get in trouble for the music. Yeah. AI is dangerous. Yeah. America first. Florida first. Brendan, unfortunately, that last part, Florida first. Yeah, DeSantis already debunked that. I'm sorry. Yeah, DeSantis done debunked this already. Badly. He's not Florida first. He's DC first. Remember, he said Byron has no wins in Florida. Just like Coon music. So I just want y'all to understand, they're trying to put all our black icons around Trump. Do you see this? First off, this picture is all the way fucked up. Number one, Byron would be driving the car. The late great Marvin Gaye would be in the back seat. I'm just saying. Yeah. That they got him DJing. Uh-huh. Yeah. By the way, Byron, how does the tookist that you got? How does that feel after Abby gave you that ass kicking? I just want to know. Make sure y'all hit the like. This is what they're trying to do to make this man desirable after the bullshit summit he had. Because we're really going to resonate with a politician when they bring out an R&B singer. Because they see what happens when they bring out rappers. So they figure we'll get an R&B singer. A deceased R&B singer at that. Okay. All right.
Get to work!
Beautiful line by DeSantis. I'll see you walking with no black people talking. Why does he have Beats headphones, earbuds in his ear? I'm never mind. Why is he trying? This is what a cornball would look like if he was trying to be cool. Okay, gotta show off the wife. Okay. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Okay. Should I say it? Y'all gonna get mad at me. Why do you have Marvin Gaye on the guitar in front of something that looked like a plantation? Why do we consistently? Never mind. I don't want to get mad before 10 o'clock. You're always shaking hands with white people, but all right. Jesus. They got happy because Trump opened up a box of pizza. What are we doing? And why is he cheesing this hard? What are we doing? Okay. There's that. I'm sorry for the music because, I don't want to get flagged. I can only imagine what y'all saying. Let me look. I'm probably going to get offended. Okay, I see. Oh, gosh. Byron for president, please. He wouldn't even pass Iowa. You said this dude, boo this. Too early for this. Don't like black people, but have black people music. Kira laughed. She probably spit out her coffee or tea. Marvin wouldn't even be in the car. Byron wants to be only in the picture. All right. AI's diabolical work. Fraud. Hello, stolen ancestors. Doge laughed. You said this is absurd. Pizza. Why not a box of Popeyes? That's what he thinks of black folks. Trump don't eat fried chicken. What's up with the XP? I don't know what that means. He would do better than reject ramen noodles. Keep a pin in that. Keep a pin in that. All right. Then we saw this post from Florida Living. You see this? Now, this is an event that just passed last month. Dawn of America's Golden Age, Lincoln Reagan Trump dinner. Oh, Lord. Okay. So he had Colonel Doug McGregor, political commentator, Roger Stone, who used to be around Trump, political icon. Okay, he went to jail. All right, fine. Byron Donalds, Congressman Corey Mills, and George Papadopoulos, political consultant. Okay. I wonder how much these tickets were. I'm curious. I'm pretty sure they probably don't. They probably took that part down. Damn, I wish I had known. All right, let's see. Let's join the fight. Damn, they don't have it. Fuck. All right, that's fine. I'm sure they probably pay. You got to pay $100 a copy. What this be? Florida Representative Byron Donalds was arrested for distribution of marijuana and a crime of sale or delivery of cannabis. Is a third-degree felony in Florida and punishable by up to 5 years in prison. In a separate crime 3 years later, Donalds was charged with third-degree felony bribery as part of a scheme to defraud a bank. A third-degree felony for bank fraud in Florida is punishable with up to 30 years in federal prison, probation up to 5 years, and a $5,000 fine. According to a questionnaire, however, Donalds filed in order to be appointed to the Board of Trustees at Edison State College. Donald said that he was never arrested, charged, or indicted in any local, state, or federal jurisdictions. So he just found out that politicians lie. Okay. Roger Stone. Richard Grinnell secured the release of the Tates because there was no evidence against them. So now, of course, Lil Ron DeSantis said these U.S. citizens who have no pending charges against them are not welcome in Florida. By the way, y'all should look up this little connection between the Tates and Byron Donalds. You'd be shocked. But I'm not going to do that here. Roger Stone, the lawfare OG. Okay. Because now the Tates are going after DeSantis. I don't know how smart of a strategy that is, but do your thing. We like to see these fights.
You were endorsed by the president even before you announced as a candidate. Now, I know it's a little early in this campaign, but do you expect to see your friend Donald Trump join you down here in his adopted home state?
Listen, first of all, Donald Trump is welcomed anytime. It's his state. He lives here. You know,
I'm sure Floridians would love to hear that. This is his state. Interesting.
He's going to do something. I would love to be a part of whatever he chooses to do. If we're talking about rallies or events, I'll definitely be there. Would love to have him come down. We're going to plan some special things and try to get the president here for him.
He's going to go get Florida. That's the move right now. T-Pain be streaming anytime they ask, can you be available this day? He's like, nah, I'm streaming. I make more money.
You're the only Republican declared right now, but you've seen the news. Casey DeSantis, the Florida First Lady, is considering a run. If she jumps in, how destructive is that for Republicans in Florida?
Listen, races take on a shape of their own, so we'll see what actually happens. My mission is going to be focused on our future and the things that are necessary for Florida to continue to grow and thrive and be prosperous for everybody. So that's going to be my mission. We'll see how the race shakes up. But I just want to let everybody know, it's going to be tough competition. We're going to work incredibly hard. And having the support of President Trump, having his endorsement is, it's a great thing to have. I'm glad.
Try again, because we've seen Trump's endorsements fall. We're not going to do that, sir. Trump's endorsements do not hold weight. So try again. Department, no. Oh, Lord. PragerU is bullshit. That's number one. Nobody fucks with PragerU like they used to. And they already caught Sting for the bullshit they tried to pull with DeSantis in Florida. Yeah, that's not going to work. Turning Point is bullshit. Nobody respects Turning Point. Charlie Kirk got no sway. I understand that y'all keep seeing him on TV and he got that bullshit mercy booking from Trump. He just went over to England and got thoroughly trounced by some blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman. He ain't got no motion out here. Even conservatives are turning on him right now. He ain't got no motion. DeSantis has an entire state behind him for the most part. All he has to do is lend it to his wife. Byron Donalds does not win that primary.
I have it. And when he makes these choices, they tend to turn out well for his candidates.
No, they don't. You're telling a lie again. No, they don't. What happened? What happened when he sent Elon to Wisconsin, sir? What happened during the special elections down there? Y'all lost 15 points in November, and then the special elections, y'all barely won. You better stop. You better stop. We watch exit polls too, sir. You better stop. Thank you so much.
I know you wanted to come home to your hometown and have a kickoff, but in a way, it's just kind of putting a marker in the race.
Hometown? I didn't know he did this in New York. His hometown. Do you hear this? This motherfucker's from Brooklyn. But okay.
Marker down on the race?
Of course. Listen, it's not good enough in my view just to announce and to go run around and raise money. You really have to talk about what you're going to accomplish, the ideas you want to lay out. So this is the start of that. Really just an opening announcement of what our vision is, what we're going to be looking to do if we're successful next year. And so, yeah, take it as a marker, take it as whatever. We're going to campaign hard, and we're going to take this to every part of Florida, because at the end of the day, the people of Florida are going to decide their next governor. And I want to make sure that they understand that I have a vision for their future.
It's called grifting off what DeSantis did. But we understand, Byron. We get it. We get it. But I have a question for the family. Right? Because I just want y'all to understand what is about to happen to this man. Byron, somebody found this. Right? So you have a NYPD cop. Right? An NYPD cop. Former. So he from the hometown. He put this up. Says Byron Donalds is not who many people think he is. He says what GOP voters, conservatives, and MAGA populists want to hear, but deep down he's woke. Well, isn't that interesting? Byron Donalds, they use the W word on you. And we know how when somebody gets labeled woke, how that gets motion out in these streets. But we continue. In both the Trayvon Martin and George Floyd cases, he sided with the SJWs. We're bringing back SJW, by the way. They're bringing it back. He'd be horrible for Florida. They say you a low-key Democrat. You a low-key liberal. Let's see what he put up. Byron Donalds addresses the crowd at a vigil in Florida's East Naples Community Park in 2012 in support of Trayvon Martin, a 17-year-old who was shot in Sanford. He spelled Sanford wrong, by the way, by neighborhood watch captain George Zimmerman. Congressman Donald's statement in the verdict in the trial of Derek Chauvin. Our constitutional republic is predicated on the belief that you are innocent until proven guilty, and one's fate is to be determined by an impartial judicial system that is ultimately in the hands of a jury of your peers. We saw that today. The fight for equal justice in America did not come easy. We must acknowledge the tremendous advancement we as a nation have achieved, and which has provided equal justice under the law for decades, but the work is far from over. The murder of George Floyd demonstrated a reckless disregard for human life by a public servant who swore an oath to protect and serve the people of Minneapolis, and by no means represents the majority of police in America today. Today and every day, Americans should celebrate the fact that we live in a nation that awards every person their day in court an opportunity for justice to prevail under the blindfold of Lady Justice. That's what he said. Oh, you don't believe me that he said this? I figured you didn't. You figured I lied on him and said this guy and me lied on this man saying that he didn't support George Floyd. Huh. Okay. Well, what if I told you we have the proof?
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Hi, Byron. Why they all do the videos in the car? Y'all got all this money. Y'all can't afford Wi-Fi in your house. Maybe Florida Wi-Fi fucked up. I don't know. But let's see what he said. And we know it's him because according to what y'all been saying in the chat, it's the hairline. The hairline always gives it away. I get it. I ain't got one. Leave me alone.
Get to work!
I wasn't going to come out with a statement about the heinous murder of George Floyd.
Yet you're doing it right now.
Because so many people across the country, whether they're white or black, politicians, non-politicians, all came out making the exact right statement that George Floyd was murdered and that the police officers in question needed to be charged.
Well, isn't that interesting that you said that? MAGA not gonna like that too tough because when you did this video, you didn't mention that the second page said that he overdosed on fentanyl. I'm just saying. They don't like that. You gotta always mention that.
And so on Friday, when the officer was charged, I said, you know what, justice is going to be done in this case. And I'm just going to sit quiet and let that happen.
Well, he's trying to sound like he's from the streets. He's part of the grassroots. He's part of the weeds. But anyway, watch MAGA find that out. He supports George Floyd. Now, granted, there's a lot of conservatives that agree that Chauvin should be sitting down. We're not talking about them. We're talking about MAGA and the MAGA adjacents. But we continue. So he said that, right? I kind of want to see what these comments on this John Cardillo's page said. I'm interested. Let's see. So nobody's allowed to change their opinions 12 years later. F off, John. So he said, A, his George Floyd statement was 5 years ago. B, it's still on his website. C, you're R word who spews nonsense before doing your homework. Look, somebody, now let me see if they're in Florida before we talk. Okay, they don't tell you. So he MAGA or she or it. We don't discriminate. They say he hasn't changed his opinion, which is why it's still on his site. It's on his site still. He still is a career politician with little to show. Shh. They follow him behind DeSantis. Also, the Trayvon thing may have been faulty reporting, John. I would focus on stronger points against Donald's, as that one may be easily contestable later. John, WTF are we going to do when no one else is stepping up? I'm asking a serious question. He says, very early, back in 2018, DeSantis stepped in months after Adam Putnam. Putnam had a $20 million war chest. Here comes the DeSantis hit squad. You all really want to pick another fight with MAGA? Good luck. And I said, MAGA is weak in Florida. They're losing a lot of games in the South and Midwest. They want to play in the North, and they're going to get stomped next year, which is true. This fool told me stop embarrassing myself. I guess he didn't see the exit polls. Let me help y'all since y'all don't understand what's going on out here. The Republicans were afraid to lose Florida if they ran DeSantis. I'm going to say that again. The Republicans were afraid if they ran DeSantis over Trump, even though a lot of people say that would never have happened, but let's just say DeSantis got the nomination. Florida was going to be a toss-up, which would have killed the Republicans because they wouldn't have had a guaranteed 19 votes. It's not that Florida didn't like him. DeSantis's profile nationally was not going to help his chances securing his home state. That's like if Greg Abbott got the nomination, Texas would have been in play. But, you know, again, these people just look at regular numbers, and then after November 5th, they just forgot about everything else. They all forgot about the special elections where MAGA struggled to flip those seats. But, you know, let them tell it. By the way, hey, you Republicans, how do y'all fare when y'all don't have Trump's name on the ballot? How do y'all fare? Huh? Because we've seen many examples when Trump ain't on the ballot. Y'all don't go out there. Y'all hope to God he just comes outside and says, hey, yeah, I endorse you. And then when he does it, y'all put in no work. And then you get destroyed. Yeah. But you're right. According to Byron, yeah. Okay. We continue. Excuse me. This one says correct. When pushed, Byron Downs will pull out the race card. Ooh, the race card. Here we go. Recall that AP African American Studies tantrum. Wake up, white Florida. You dopes are gonna blow it. White Florida. Here we go. KCD for governor. 8 more years of Ron DeSantis, please. We can have that. You actually can't, but okay. Both Trayvon Martin and George Floyd were resisting arrest. Okay, explain to me how Trayvon resisted arrest. Explain to me how George Floyd resisted arrest. I swear to God. I swear to God, they're retarded. But anyway. And it didn't go well for them. God bless those poor souls who fabricate victims where they don't exist. Pursue truth. Oh, Jesus. Okay. W got to pay for his crimes. He got to. This is an understatement. Really, really a bad guy. Trump needs to see through this. Oh, no, wait a minute. Now we got the blue eyes white bitch out there. They telling Trump to get rid of Byron Donalds. Ain't that something? Huh? No, Trump gave him the endorsement, but it ain't gonna go as well as you think, because this ain't. Byron still got to go to Florida and convince them. He's only talking tough right now because he's the only candidate that is officially declared. If Casey get in, it's going to be fun. They are not fucking with this man in Florida. They're not. Fort Myers or wherever the fuck Fort Myers. They're not stronger than Tallahassee. They're not. They're not stronger than the governor's mansion. And every time this woman comes outside, she looks better and better. But okay. If we had real conservative media instead of a bunch of grifters, then this would be common knowledge. So now they're going to blame the grifters on Byron Donalds. I'm gonna laugh myself into a choking fit. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. This is gonna be fun. I told y'all, them grifters are going to screw y'all up. Y'all gotta go out there and do the work. Grifters, y'all didn't realize what happened with Vivek. Y'all over there for 2 years kissing his ass, and then guess what happens? He gets destroyed in Iowa. He drops out crying. And it's funny, right? They love Vivek so much. He's running for Ohio, not now one of them called him up and said, come on, talk about Ohio. Huh. Seems to me that y'all really didn't like that dude. Now, did you? By the way, Byron's already declared. How come none of you conservatives, especially you black ones, how come y'all ain't come outside and ask him for an interview? Let him tell his platform to y'all. Like you Tatum Tots, you got 3.5 million almost. Why didn't you put him on? Huh?
You want some more?
Oh, we got more. Hey, Greg Forehead, you got about 900 and what, 20,000 probably now because they push your bullshit. Why didn't you bring Byron Donalds on?
You want some more?
We might have more. Hey, Candace, I hope to God you got off your feet and you start setting up your interviews. Why didn't you bring on Byron Donalds before you went on maternity leave?
You want some more?
We might have more. ABL, even though they calling you woke now, so two woke brothers should be able to be talking to each other, right? You got 1 million.
You want some more?
We might have more. Hey, Benny Johnson, since you like Negroes that either dress up like females or be cheesing all hard all day, pause. Why didn't you bring on Byron Donalds? He MAGA, you MAGA. It should be very simple.
You want some more?
We might have more. Excuse me. Tim Pool, you piece of shit. Why didn't you bring on Byron Donalds and have him explain why he should be the next governor of Florida?
You want some more?
We might have more. We just might. Byron Donalds, there's plenty of Twitter spaces where people are talking politics. Why didn't your black ass jump into one of them and explain why you should be the next governor of Florida?
You want some more?
We might have more. And by the way, what I just said, I was talking about the black spaces. Interesting. They never want to show up to go explain their platform. They want the TV, and social media to tell them and to sell their platform. They don't want to sell it. Hey, you need a boost, do you not? Oh, the Mala Ekpanobi, I know you was gone for a few months because you said somebody was stalking you. This would be a great way for you to get back and get some motion back to your channel.
You want some more?
You might have more. Amir Odom, you don't be talking about shit on your channel. Since you love Donald Trump since he's so bold, why don't you go get his house Negro son, Byron Donalds, on your platform? Go live and ask that man questions on why he feels he should be the next governor of Florida.
You want some more?
And by the way, you on PragerU, so it should be easy.
You want some more?
We might have more. Jeffrey Mead, even though you do no research when you be getting into these debates or when you do your little bullshit videos, this would be nice to put him on TikTok and ask him why you should be the next governor of Florida.
You want some more?
I ain't got no more. Because most of these grifters are gone anyway now, so we ain't got no more.
You want some more? Do you? All right, bim, bam, boom. Somebody get this nigga out of my way.
100% GOP rhinos rely on gullible people with short memories. Byron Donalds, you won't be getting my vote. Casey DeSantis for governor. Florida really needs a better choice. That's a crazy picture. And that's a lot of identifiers. Shit, I saw this one too. This was crazy. His last congressional intern was a reparations Republican from the same college Byron attended, FAMU. Byron has a history of surrounding himself with black separatists that used to idolize Obama-based Moorish sovereign citizen values. Moorish. Okay. And that's Sharice Lane. And I've talked about her a few times on this channel. So this is where we're going. All right. It just sucks that it seems like my only two options are Byron and DeSantis' wife. Well, you always have the Democrat that they're going to put up, but, you know, it's Florida. Not voting for him. Somebody called him a gorilla. Huh. Hard pass. Say no to Donalds. Neither man deserved to die, so why is he wrong? You mentioned Floyd's criminal history and other posts, but Trayvon Martin was truly innocent. Why would these positions disqualify Donalds? Let's see. And there we go. Floyd died of a drug overdose. The hell he did, but you know they don't read first pages, so it's okay. Bank fraud Byron. I can't wait till his primary opponent or opponents start using that. I can't wait. Bank fraud Byron. Bank fraud Byron is no conservative. Real conservatives don't back the Andrew Gillums of the world. Woo! They're invoking Andrew Gillum.
What the hell?
Byron, this is what you got to go against, sir. And Trump ain't going to save you because he ain't going to jump on no plane every week to come save you. They are comparing you to Andrew Gillum. Excuse me. Damn, cold / allergies. Jesus. He may get the cold vote, but he won't get real conservatives. That fool came back and said, I agree. There are issues which are valid reasons not to support him. You've mentioned some. His positions on George Floyd and Trayvon Martin alone shouldn't disqualify him. They said, I didn't mention any of that, but since you did, maybe you would feel better if it was your skull Martin was cracking on a concrete sidewalk or your daughter Floyd was robbing while holding a gun to her belly. Okay, number one, Zimmerman followed that boy. He deserved it. He camped out in front of his house. He deserved that shit. Number two, George Floyd didn't die because he put that gun on that woman's belly. He died because there was a cop on a power trip. If he was going to OD like y'all said he did, he would have OD'd in the car or he would have OD'd at home. How many people got to tell y'all, yeah, he had fentanyl in his system, but it wasn't lethal. Maybe y'all don't understand biology, but if you cut off somebody's airway, that kind of doesn't help their body function correctly. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. From his district, he doesn't do his current job and doesn't deserve a promotion. Well, what is this? Oh, sorry. So they're saying that among all the people in Congress, he misses the most votes. But we'll use it for white people so they understand. Per capita. And he's way over the median. And he damn near top 10. Well, that's crazy. Byron Donalds, you ain't going to work? Or you going to work, you just clocking in? Huh? Well, okay. Damn. That's crazy. He got a good lawyer. He got that charge off. He got a good lawyer. All right. There's that. Would y'all like to see what event he's doing very soon? Y'all got to see this. This is why he's not going to win. I told you, he just wants to be a celebrity. He don't want to put it in no type of work.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Well, what is this? And I got to put Reagan's face on it. Now, this is way in September. The 23rd annual Ronald Reagan Black Tie and Blue Jeans Barbecue in Alachua, Florida. Huh. Right. Black tie and blue jeans. Okay. And they say he a whole fraud and he just power grabbing because this Evan Power dude, he's the chair of the Republican Party in Florida right now. And he MAGA aligned. The streets are saying he just grifted off Trump. Every time I see him at these stupid ass events or saying something stupid, you're making DeSantis look like he was right, what he said. Where is the work for Florida? We saw the bullshit cleanup effort that you did after the storm. You wasn't there in the trenches. When you saw Florida get hit, your ass should have been on the first plane. You waited days. And then y'all gonna bring up Reagan now. Reagan. Oof. They said they try to inaugurate him as governor without a primary. Well, what is this? I didn't even see this. Lincoln Reagan Gala Dinner. Jesus. $150 a head. So that's just dinner. And then VIP reception, 100. So you got to spend $250. $250. Powerful speakers. You only get 2. Why? How is Corey Mills a powerful speaker? How is Byron Downs a powerful speaker? How? Okay. Okay. This is beautiful. One more time for the folk.
I wasn't going to come out with a statement about the heinous murder of George Floyd because so many people across the country, whether they're white or black, politicians, non-politicians, all came out making the exact right statement that George Floyd was murdered and that the police officers in question needed to be charged. And so on Friday, when the officer was charged, I said, you know what, justice is going to be done in this case. And I'm just going to sit quiet and let that happen.
Yeah, they're not going to like that. Again, I don't think you care. That's just me, by the way. But, yeah, we got something else for you. Oh, he be talking.
You know, let me go here. There's a growing concern.
Couldn't waste a moment to sit down with a white woman, especially one of Trump's people. Yes, that is Lara Trump. She interviewed this man. And by the way, I'm going to save that for later. But I'm going to let y'all listen to what Byron said to Lara Trump. He's going to tell his history. And we're going to listen.
Get to work!
You were also raised by a single mother. How did that impact your life and who you became?
My mom is a grinder, hard worker, no excuses. For her, education was everything. She was a school choice mom before school choice was a thing. You know, she gambled on me and my education. She didn't want to just leave me to the public schools. We struggled at times when I was at home. But for her, there was always the possibility to excel, to achieve, and to really escape the hood, escape the inner city and make something of yourself. And that was her.
Escape the hood. You can't even go on Fox News and sound like somebody with some sense. Escape the hood. Okay. There's certain people you don't code switch for. This is not you, Byron. This is not you. Okay.
Dream for me.
And I'm sure she's proud of you. We are so proud to have you represent the state of Florida. And
Bisa ain't proud of you. She said you a whole fraud. And that's Bisa Hall, his ex-wife, who he cheated on with the white woman, where he got the 3 kids now. But do your thing.
you recently announced that you want to do more for the state of Florida. You have announced your intent to run for governor of the state of Florida. Why was now the time to do that for you?
I came to Florida when I was 17 years old. I was afraid to fly at the time. We got on a Greyhound bus.
Wow.
From Port Authority, Midtown Manhattan, to the bus depot in Tallahassee, Florida.
That's a long drive.
24 hours.
Wow.
Oh, trust me. So I just had my my trunk full of clothes, got to Tallahassee, Florida, and everything in my life was really built in Florida. My foundation is New York, and the grinding aspects, being able to be discerning of people coming across you, that's a New York thing that's just never going away. That's a Brooklyn thing.
It's a street smart.
Because Florida people really want to hear about how you were moving in Brooklyn. Okay.
100%.
Yeah.
But I built everything in Florida. And Florida is where I matured. And Florida is where I met my wife. It's where my kids were born and they grew up. It's where I became a coach. It's where I became a youth leader. It's where I built my career. It's where I found politics.
And that's going to be the state they're going to run your ass out. Because not only are you going to not make the primary for that governor race, the Democrats are already trading their Democrat to replace your ass. So you might lose twice on November 3rd. And that'll be crazy.
So now to come back and running to become the next governor is really about making sure that Florida.
What did you just say, sir?
I built my career. It's where I found politics. So now to come back.
You just made DeSantis look right again. Byron hasn't been here. He hasn't participated in the wins. Or whatever the hell he said.
Where I built my career, it's where I found politics. So now to come back and running to become the next governor is really about making sure that Florida, which is the best state in the country, continues to be the best state in the country.
You sure about that? Because there's a whole bunch of people leaving Florida right now. But, do your thing. You're allowed to say that. And people are allowed to give you their opinion, such as it is. Because if you remember Byron, they did this to you.
Let me go here. There's a growing concern.
If you do not believe that it is okay, if you think it is fine for people to defraud Social Security, you and I don't agree. What the Doge is doing is they are examining the records. They are provided their.
Byron, how are you going to win Florida when you have a major demographic, the older folks who go down there, they work there tirelessly through their life, and they go down to Florida to live out their twilight years, where they believe their Social Security money will go long, pause. And you got them walking out while you're talking. And by the way, they're walking out not because they don't like what you're saying. You're yelling at one of their fellow geriatrics, trying to explain Elon Musk, which, by the way, they only found about a few $1 billion in wasteful spending. When we were told they were going to find hundreds of billions, maybe even trillions. Go ahead.
Congress has to weigh in those findings. That's the way the process works. If you're just upset because Donald Trump has Elon Musk doing it, that doesn't make any sense.
No, sir, it does make sense. Elon Musk was never voted in to do that job. He was given that job. He has no oversight. Well, now we should say had because he's gone now. He had no regulator outside of Susan Wiles who had to keep him in check. Who did he answer to? Trump, right? How does that make it efficient and keep people with the confidence that he was going to do a good job? He could have done anything, and you'd have to accept it. That's what y'all are missing. And we would have given the same smoke to Vivek if he stayed on with Doge. You gave an advisor way too much access. That's like letting a lobbyist run Congress, even though technically they do, but he runs the he or she or it runs the chamber. That's essentially what you did.
We have to make sense. We have to agree on certain things.
So Byron, I want you to explain to me how you supposed to rectify this, because again, we black over here and melanated immigrant who are on code. How are you? We remember from an entire summer of you saying and a summer before that saying you don't believe in reparations. We ain't forget about that. You don't think these people ain't gonna remember in 18 months what you just said? You basically just told them you're in favor of cutting Social Security and Medicaid. That's what you just told them. And you said it's because it's Donald Trump's baby, you got to trust it. Because they're at their twilight years, they're supposed to trust a politician with their money. Not the Social Security Administration. They're supposed to trust the politician. You just told them they have to trust an advisor who has more money, allegedly, than they would ever see in a lifetime, who's been getting government subsidies. And they're supposed to be cool with that.
The Palestinians have voted for Hamas, and they have not done anything to remove Hamas. So if you want to have a shouting match to me, let's have a shouting match. If you think you're being heard, and let's be clear, you're not. Let's be very clear.
You literally heard her. That's why you responded to her, but okay.
You're not. What you're doing is yelling now, and you're being disrespectful. You are being disrespectful.
Byron, I hope you realize they're watching you do this and you can't even control a crowd. I hope you understand this. Because if you think just this chick, this weirdo chick, is the end of it, sir, you're going to have to see this in the next 18 months, unsolicited. They only need you to slip up one time.
Doing is they're examining the records. They're providing their findings. Congress has to weigh in.
They're firing people.
Even a regular American can't watch you firing people just because you saw some money that you can't account for. No recourse. You just said, okay, this might be wasteful spending. Fire everybody. How does that help the economy? Interesting. But anyway, there's that. This fool don't get it. But he gonna get his ass kicked next year. Maybe he'll learn then. Maybe he'll try to go get a job with Fox News. He'll have to move back to New York. because they ain't gonna do no remote from Florida. Maybe that's the move. Anyway, we'll see who will come up. If not, I'm leaving. Gotta get ready for this important phone call at 11. But Byron, you're in trouble, sir. They've already put out the edict. You're not making it. Hell, they'll support. They might screw around and support some unknown just because he ain't aligned with Trump. But all right. Now nobody. Cool. I'm leaving. Hopefully you learned something. If you did, I done my job. Now I try to be better next time. I'll see y'all when I see you. I don't know when that gonna be. But hopefully you got something out of this. So y'all take care, stay safe. And oh wait, hold on 1 second. I think there was another super chat I gotta get. Yes, Shamika Gray, thank you for being a member for 24 months. That's a blessing. And you get this here. If I can find it. There you go. Yes, sir.
Hey, what's going on, KJ?
Same old is.
I ain't gonna keep you too long. I'm just saying, like, he's like one of those pillars of people I can't stand. Who you think is more insufferable, him, Gumby, or ramen noodles?
Gumby, nobody pays attention to her anymore. Ramen noodles, he's irrelevant. It probably had to be Byron now because he's gonna be all over Florida. I told y'all gotta watch Florida next year. Florida gonna be the state everybody gonna watch next year. So he's probably gonna be the most insufferable.
Oh dear. And one more thing, has ramen noodles ever said anything about what was going on with the Dub S in Ohio?
No, why would he say something?
Exactly my point.
The only thing he ever said was bringing light when they asked him about the KKK putting rice in people's mailboxes and the pamphlets.
Well, he played oblivious to it.
No, he was like, I think I did that story. He said some bullshit, and it's like he wanted to acknowledge it, but he couldn't acknowledge it. Oh, let me see if I can find it real quick. Columbus KKK okay. Vivek. Let me see. Wait, let me put up rice. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, recruitment flyers for the KKK recently distributed to several neighborhoods in Greater Columbus. I think they did ask him for a quote. No, maybe it wasn't this one. Yeah, I remember bringing that up. I'm like, how you gonna handle this?
And I look at it also like with Byron, he gonna dance around a lot of issues affecting Black Americans. I mean, he's been doing it for a long time. I mean, the barbershop thing, that whole stage debacle, him getting up there talking about we don't no cutting the check, and I'm like, bro, like, nah, I can't deal with him. I don't know how Florida is gonna deal with him because he can bootlick as much as he wants, but he's not going
Florida's
to.
already mad at him. He ain't been home. They're gonna remember this.
I know. It's just I'm waiting for his wake up call to happen, like for him to get it. I mean, he keeps denying it that it's happening to him in real time. But
hold on, James Matthews, you seem new, but welcome. Florida's already turned on MAGA. We've literally showed the proof. They're not interested in MAGA anymore, especially if Byron Donalds runs against Casey DeSantis. Casey DeSantis is going to be the Republican nominee. They don't like him. They follow DeSantis.
You forming Voltron on Byron.
No, they're forming Vehicle Voltron.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit, the one that I turned the TV from when it wasn't the Lions. Oh, who the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, Vehicle Voltron. 15 guards. They're turning on this man.
I don't know what else is going to take for him to realize it. But let me
He's
get back
gonna
to
lose twice on November 3rd, 2026. Him losing twice. He's
And
going
what
to lose his seat in Congress, and he's going to lose that race. He's
what
going to be
state
out
he
of
go,
politics.
what state he going to run to next after this?
He can't. No, he ain't going to be able to. You can't lose twice in one night. You can't recover from that.
No, I mean,
He better go get an agent.
because didn't Gumby run from another state to a state?
Yeah, she left Missouri, went to Texas.
Exactly.
But she didn't lose twice in one night.
Oh, okay. Damn, in one night?
That's what's going to happen when Byron. If Byron, I'm telling you this right now. If Byron goes up against her, he's going to lose. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's just say he beats her. Florida don't like him. DeSantis machine is going to turn on him. He's not going to get that back. DeSantis is going to refuse, and it's going to piss the Republicans off, which I don't give a fuck about. He's going to lose to the Democrat, and then he's going to lose his seat because he's not going to watch that seat. And they're going to put up some suave Democrats out of that area, and they're going to beat him.
I don't even watch Fox News, and I don't even want to see him on there. So something once he's done, I hope he just, I don't know what he'll do. I just hope he go away because he's not helping.
He's going to be on Fox News.
Oh,
he's going to be a special contributor.
Contributing what? What's so special about him?
He next to Trump.
Is he?
He next to Trump.
No, I know he is, but I'm saying that too. Like he need to really think about that because they're gonna send him out to the wolves and they're gonna tear him apart, and then Trump is just gonna think about him like an afterthought. Just
Byron
like
is a friend.
Is he?
That's what he's gonna say. Byron is a friend, and he'd be great on Fox News because he could get to go up there and pay to kiss my ass.
Oh yeah, that is true.
He don't lose nothing. He just gains another bootleg. By the way, Byron, you want to refute anything I said? The door's open.
You know he ain't gonna do that.
Brooklyn versus Queens. Yeah, these motherfuckers, Black Americans love that shit.
He ain't got no smoke for anybody else that looks like him. He ain't got no.
I
smoke.
promise I won't use Noah DeBrasso's. I promise I won't use his avatar. I just came to see what was going on. You walking through the DNC. Nigga, who are you?
All right, but I ain't gonna hold you no more. I gotta get back to taking care of what I need to. You know what I mean, man. Come on, man. Stop that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know.
I don't get down like that, bro.
Okay, they getting down. All right.
Okay, man. Here we go. The ball.
It's a round. It's a wrap for you round. And a wrap for your round.
All right, but on the real, man. I'll check you later, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right, I'm gone now. Y'all take care, stay safe, and you know what to do when the agents of chaos kind of mess up your existence.
Time's up. But did we have a good time here? Hello?
Gotta get your groove on.
At the end of the day gotta end.
able to hit that. It looked like he was going for the standing ovation earlier on. RKO out of nowhere.
That's it.